what's up you guys? It's MCLegoboy here with a Podracer. I have not named this. I have not named the guy that pilots it. I really have no idea what to call this other than just a Podracer. So, maybe I've come up with a name by the time this video has come out. Maybe I haven't. I'm not sure. I still haven't even actually taken pictures. The only reason why we are we are out in the big area. I like to call it the big area. I mean, really, it gets me probably like 4 extra inches of space to work with, and it's really only for bigger things that don't fit on my background. And not that this couldn't fit on the background that I had, but for the function that it has, I knew it wasn't going to work, and I didn't want to mess up any of the smooth backgrounds that I've got. And I knew it definitely wasn't going to work with the towel that I intend on taking the pictures on with this thing, because I plan on making like a desert scene. You guys have already seen pictures. So anyway, this Podracer is very much based off of the original sets from 1999 and 2001. Those were the 2 years that the original style of Podracer was released. And then in 2011, 2012, 2012, I think, that's when you guys got that whole rehash with Anakin and Sebulba's Podracer. And I thought that those kind of looked okay. I don't know. It's just not my thing. Anyway, but heavily inspired off of Aldar Bito's Podracer. You can kind of see the resemblance when it comes to pods. So yeah, and this is from Watto's Junkyard, and I should probably get around to reviewing that set at some point. Probably re-reviewing the MOC Podracer set. I don't know. I should probably do a whole bunch of things, but you know. But yes, and then also with speaking of MOC Podracer, like we have the little pit station and even a pit droid. And I tried to not steal as many pieces as possible, and I think I almost succeeded. I was very close, but I stole at least 6 pieces. And I'll tell you what those are when we get to them. But yes, pit station, really? I mean, like I showed you, it is exactly the same. I would have preferred one of these to be black, but I also kind of wanted to take a picture with a whole bunch of other Podracers, since I didn't steal any pieces from the Podracers, except for these tubes from a blown up one that's part of Watto's Junkyard, which, again, probably should review at some point. But, you know, nobody ever requests any reviews, so. But yeah. And then we've got the pit droid. He's wearing a hat because I thought it would look cute. So yeah, this pit droid, I kind of wanted to do a diagonal color scheme on him. So black, brown, black. And I think that Lego should at some point make some pit droids. I'm not sure how they would make them. Personally, I think that this is the best looking design. I don't know, it's just because. And then we get on to our Podracer himself, like the driver. And that's why the pit droid had this cap. I wanted to give him this cap to just kind of give him some personality. I don't know. Got an old torso from 2001, this Jurassic Park 3 set. It was probably in a whole bunch of other sets that were from the Studios line from back in the day. And then we're using the Fox dude, the Fox Speedors from Chima. We're using that guy's head and arms. That is the one downside, is that he does come with 2 faces. But when you put the pod racing helmet on. It's actually really cool because that back area is just about all covered up, so you don't have to worry about that. And also, it's probably really hard to tell, unless I were to like get it all up in your face, but you can see like where the eyes are, and if I move them down, they're pretty much right at where they need to be for the goggles when they come down. And unlike minifigure eyes, where they're like two little dots and they look like they barely can see out of the goggles. So, yeah. Anyway, we'll put that back on. Okay. We'll just kind of move everything out of the way so that we can just focus on the Podracer. So, this is what it looks like from the side. Originally, I thought that Aldo Arbito's Podracer, the pods were actually beveled. Apparently not. I don't know. I haven't actually looked to see in the movie. Because I like looking at pictures on Wikipedia, they were perfectly parallel. But part of me remembers seeing in the movie that his pods were actually beveled. And so I need to actually look and see if that's correct. But I wanted to recreate that, except the problem is that, whoa, what was that? Was that, like, with the way that Lego is constructed, it's very X, Y, and Z coordinate system. It's very much like that. And so you can't really do angles and then still connect to a thing that is perfectly parallel with the ground. So I had to find a way to do that. But I don't know, I think it gives the pod a nice look. And it just works. We're going to go over the pods later. The chassis I actually built last out of all the things, or the chariot. I'm not sure if this is a chassis or a chariot or what. I know that these are pods, and I know that this is a binding. I don't know. These are cables, I know that. And this is a frame. So, yeah, Captain Obvious.
Please, go away.
But yeah, this just kind of, the way things are. I wanted to try and use as many pieces from the 1999 to 2001 time period as possible. And just about nearly successful. The only part is within the pods, but we're not talking about the pods. Stop talking about the pods. But yeah, got controls in there. They don't move around, so very happy about that. I don't know, do I show you guys the secret? Yeah, I'll leave it a mystery, because I don't really feel like taking it apart. And then we got all of these pieces going on back here. Using like one of these giant, it's like a 2 brick tall block and a 2x4 by 2 bricks block where it's got it's like basically for snot purposes where you can actually attach pieces on, but the tubes would be showing instead of studs. So you can also stick axles in there, and so just like little areas that you can peek through, you can tell that it's all kind of some sort of an engine block. I don't know why I put an engine block there. I just thought it looked good, and it kind of flows with the rest of the design of the thing. So there's that. And then also, and I'm not sure if you guys can see this at all, maybe from like all the way back there. Yes, you can. Awesome. So in these things, I've placed 4 throughout both of these. Like there's 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah. There are 4 2x2 round bricks in neon translucent orange, and that's just to be there to give you guys something to look at. Well, I guess that kind of works. I could just show you guys. And after a very non-smooth transition, I can just show you guys that translucent orange thing, and the light shines through it and stuff like that. And it just kind of gives an impression of there being like engines and flames and stuff going on the inside. That's falling apart. Okay. And we need to like speed things up because clearly I've taken too long already. But then we've also got this nice blue leather seat, and it doesn't move. And I've got studs in there just to hit the back of the legs. That's how this guy sits in. It's just the backs of the legs right there. However, every time that I take them out, for some reason these legs have extreme gripping power, because every time that I pull them out of here, it takes the plate with it, but because of the way that the seat is constructed, the plate doesn't come all the way out, which is nice. But still, it's annoying because it's like now I gotta try and place the piece back where it's supposed to be. But I will turn the head like that. And then we will move on to the pods. So yeah, that's this area, whatever it's called, chassis, chariot thing. And so then we move on to the pods, and just kind of looking at it from the front. It's got this red stripe that goes around with black on there, and I didn't think about this until after I'd already built it and was like using those colors, and I thought that is exactly what happened with the giant truck. It was all black with a red stripe, and I was like, well, that kind of sucks. I didn't intend for that to happen, but I think it looks really good like this. So, I mean, what are you going to do? Got a little wolf pattern, which kind of works with the fox guy. So he's got a little pattern, his little flap right there, which is cool. Actually can't grab the pods right there because they will break. And I'm not going to show you guys how everything is put together. I can kind of show you. Yeah, I can show you. But yeah, got hinges going on right there. Hinges. We've got more of these kind of gray pieces, but in black. Right there. And then we've got 4 like 2x4 sloped bricks attached in there so that they don't wiggle around too much. We've got a 1x2 brick in there doing the same thing that was going on with the with this area. So just to kind of show there's like flames and the engines are really roaring and doing stuff like that. And then we got more flaps right there, which then conceal probably the greatest piece that's ever been made by Lego, the 1x4 tile with the printing that is on it, which is like the coolest print ever because it's not specific to Star Wars, but if you use it, I don't know, I use it there too. I didn't even talk about it there, but this is probably my favorite piece that has ever been made. It is just the coolest thing. It's detailing that it just to be detail. Like, it's not specific. It's not a sticker. It's not specific to Star Wars, so you can use it in other themes. I mean, it's awesome. I absolutely love that piece. And I think pretty much, like, I don't know what, I'm pretty sure my first set was Luke's land speeder. And I mean, I don't think that set had it, but I definitely know that Massa's Podracer, the droid the vulture droid, that had it as well. Just, there were a few sets that used that piece, and I just love it. So I wish that they would bring it back, but at the same time I don't, because dark gray is far more superior than dark bluish gray. And if they printed this on dark bluish gray, I'm not sure how I would feel about it. So, yeah. Anyway, we got these tires that are going on right there. And we got more engine pieces that then are dark gray because we needed some other colors, like not a lot. I mean, the primary colors are black and red with some light gray accents. And you can kind of tell that I tried to keep things very similar between the pods and the engine. It's far better than what I made when when I used to know grammar. It's far better than the Podracer that I built for my sig fig, because that was just blue and black pieces just kind of crammed on there. And I'm way better at understanding color blocking and stuff like that. But yeah. So got the flaps there that you can just use to help with steering and stuff like that. And I think it was just one day I was digging through bins and I found the tires. Not that I lost them, but I just kind of decided, hey, that actually looks cool as like an engine and not just for being a tire. And it just worked. And so then I was like, oh, cool. It's got this whole little area where you could stick one of these pieces in. And it'll stay like that. So then if it's spun, I know, the big reveal. If it's spun, that would be really cool. Well, then now how do I make it spin? Well, you make it spin by throwing wheels on the bottom. And now, as this thing is going along, now the engines turn. And rather than just having the front, I also wanted to show the back spinning as well. So we now have spinning wheels and stuff like that. And really cool. I like it. And it just barely comes from the ground. And I mean, like, I've been working so hard to conceal all the wheels and gears and stuff just so that you didn't have to see things. And it's like, I could show you guys how all of this fits together, but I don't want to have to reconstruct half of it on camera for you. So you're just going to have to live with the fact that you're going to have to figure it out on your own or something. But that is this Podracer, and that was the main reason for building the Podracer. It's like, oh man, I could make these engines spin. It was like, how do we make these engines spin? And what would I use that for? And I was like, I could build another Podracer because pod racing is cool. And I don't know about you guys, but with as much naysay as there is about episode 1 and the prequels altogether, you cannot deny that pod racing is a cool concept. At the very least, if you didn't enjoy the pod racing that was going on in the movie, even if it didn't really like need to take place or something, I don't know, but you can't deny that that's a cool concept and what was done was cool. So, but yeah, this is that guy's Podracer. And we're going to end this like terribly, I don't know. But yeah, this has been MCLegoboy with a Podracer. See you guys.